Hello, hobbyists. It's Hooves of Doom here for another fantastic hobby journey, obviously for January 2016. And January was a fairly busy month. In some sense, I feel like it was pretty short, even though it's, obviously a fairly long month. Um, didn't quite seem to accomplish everything I had planned. I'm not sure if I need to be a little bit more realistic in my expectations, but and ambitious, I guess you would say. But overall, I'm very happy with what I accomplished. Even though I wish I did more, the models that I did painted, I'm fairly happy with, and I did make some progress on a few of the projects. So I can't be, I guess, too upset about it. But anyways, so I spent far too much this month. I had some Christmas money. I also overspent my spending money as well, so I'll have less money this month. But I picked up kind of a variety of different stuff. Picked up the Seraphon Battle Tomb and the Fyreslayer Battle Tomb. They're nice books. I think going forward, what I'm going to do though is try to pick up the book of whatever army I'm working on at the moment and kind of update my collection of battle tombs as I work on an army and paint it. I bought the Seraphon one just so I wanted to know how they work in conjunction with demons in terms of like their keyword and their fluff, and I want to use that in a future video, which I'll be doing hopefully next weekend. But they're interesting books. I like looking through the art, if nothing else. And this one was really more of a compulsory or more of a compulsive, I guess, buy. It wasn't my intention to really pick it up, but it was there on the shelf, and I wanted to know what's going on with them, so I got it. I also picked up I Am Slaughter, and I haven't started reading it. I'm actually reading another Black Library novel right now. I'm interested in this series though because it takes place after the Horus Heresy, so I'm interested in knowing what's going to go on with the Imperium, and you can buy them pretty cheap if you pre-order the book as well. So, model-wise, I got Wood Elves for my commitment with the PMP. And, so I got some like Eternal Guard. I got some Waywatcher Lord. And I'll be working on those. I worked on those this month in January, but also working on some of those in February as well. I bought more Tomb Kings. It was my plan to start the year off with Tomb Kings and as an independent project. And what I had wasn't really a real army. It was a bit on the weak side, so I picked up a number of boxes to help that out. I'll talk about that in the Get It Painted video, which I'll be doing an update on very soon. And finally, I picked up some Empire Great Swords. Now, I already have like a little Empire army. That's going to be a future project for painting, probably later in spring now. April-ish, April-May-ish. And it's a lot of my existing collection of Empire has like a steam tank and a griffin, a couple cannons, but it's mostly just infantry. And I guess I just bought more infantry, but there's a difference between having a bunch of spearmen or Empire troops as fairly generic Empire melee troops compared to units of great swords. So I bought 2 units of great swords. These are cheap off eBay. And what's interesting about it is I got 1 box of the old and 1 box of the new, which is fine by me. As a collector, I like to kind of get both, even though I like maybe one model over the other. And so I'll just do 2 small units of 10. And those banners look like I'll have to do some freehand on those, so that will be fun. This month, a number of the news stories on the Warhammer app were about a new store opening up, a new Warhammer store. And to my surprise, it was one in Portland, Maine. I actually lived there for a few years. I did school in Portland, and I'm only about an hour or so away from there. So I went down and went to the opening event, and I've never been to an opening event of a Warhammer store before, so that was always fun. And it's always kind of a rare treat for me to see a Warhammer store. I've never really been around like a huge urban environment that might have one, so they're always fun to actually see them and actually walk around the store. And I had a good chat with the staff. I picked up a whole bunch of merchandise that's there for free, and well, that's where I bought like a battle tomb and a couple. I bought like a poster and stuff like that. Gaming wise, I played a game of Age of Sigmar earlier this month, which was fun. It was Ogre Kingdoms versus Stormcast, and I was about to win. I was doing really well. I was playing the ogres, and my wife was playing Stormcast, and she successfully killed the tyrant. And because I outnumbered her with a whole bunch of those like little teeny minions that the ogres have, that ended the game, and so she ended up winning. But I also played this in January, my first game of 40k in several years. I recently was talking about my Warhammer journey, and in that I think I've played 3 games of 40k in the last 10 years. 2 of those games were at home, and very, very kind of informal. So it was fun to get out, fun to kind of see what's kind of experience the game as it is now. I still remembered most of the rules, really. I mean, even though there's been a lot of changes between 3rd and 4th when I played and the current edition, still a lot of the basic stuff's there in terms of like weapon profiles and the to hit to wound charts and stuff like that are all the same. So with a little bit of a minor adjustment, I think 40k's in my future, I think. And so I want to get an army for 40k painted, well, relatively quickly. It will be after Tomb Kings, but that's fine because I need to pick up like the army book and a number of models for the army. I'll talk about that in a couple minutes. But I'm going to change some of my priorities to do that. So the Empire will probably get pushed back. That was my second project. It will probably be now my 3rd. I just want to get a 40k army out there and painted so that I can play with a painted army. I've certainly changed as a person. So painting wise, the first month was Glade Guard for Wood Elves and a Waywatcher Lord. That was a pledge that for the PMP that I did in December, so I was a month behind. So that's what I did for the first week. The 2nd and 3rd week of January, I worked on Eternal Guard and Waywatchers, and that was a challenging. I don't know, it just went really slow, I found. I guess I painted, it was 13 models in 2 weeks, which isn't, horrible, but I was hoping to get those out in 1 week. The Eternal Guard, I did a command in there, I did a freehand banner. I don't know, I'm not really sure why they took so long. I'm hoping, I'm painting another 10 Eternal Guard for February. There's no command or anything, now that I've done it once, I'm hoping I can do them a bit faster. But this past week, I was assembling Tomb Kings. That's basically all I've been doing. So I'll be doing an update on Get It Painted soon, just going over everything that I've done for that project. Good amount of archers, let's just say, and I think that would be fun. I also think that army, I don't think it will take too long to paint. I'm always saying this. Um, but the paint scheme I have in mind is fairly basic, and there's not many colors involved. So I hope, I want to do a good job, but I'm hopeful that it won't take 2 or 3 months to do, because I want to move on to my other projects. That's always kind of the edge, and to some extent, I always kind of feel like a lot of need to move on, and a lot of like ridiculous amount of pressure, but I don't really want to have that. So, anyways, February plans is work on the Tomb Kings the first week of February. I'm going to try to get that second unit of Eternal Guard out, and then it's Tomb Kings for the rest of the month probably. And I'll be collecting some 40k. I actually ordered, as I said in my recent 40k video about playing 40k, and I might do a video about the battle and my experience at the store. But most of my armies are now outdated. They're missing a lot of key components. Aircraft, for instance, they don't really have. And the army books, most of my army books are now outdated. So I will be actually I rolled on my charts. I'm actually tweaking my charts a little bit. But I'm going to do Cadian Imperial Guard. That's what came up. And so I have a small Cadian army. It's like 120 models for Cadians. I have like 8 or 9 tanks. So I'm off to a good start. I'm not going to use them all in this particular army, though. There's a lot of troop transports that I don't need, and I don't have the troops to put in them right now. So I'll be buying a few things maybe for that this month, but I think mostly the 40k army will probably go full force in March. But so otherwise I have a lot of videos planned for February. Another video or two in my Warhammer and Classics series planned. I have one battle report that I've yet to publish, and I'd like to do a couple more battle reports. I'd like to do those a little bit more frequently. Well, I've only done like 4 in the last 7 months, so more frequently than that at least. As I work on the Tomb Kings, I'll keep providing updates and responding to topic of the weeks and a few other ideas that I have for videos as well. It's just a matter of time, really. So finally, at the end of this video, I'll do a quick visual review of the models. I'm just going to put the pictures up to music, and you can take a look at the models that I painted in January. So appreciate you guys watching, and have a good one. Bye.